Hi, I'm Anupa and welcome to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. We've seen a lot of biryanis being made here and every biryani is different than the other. How about making a seafood biryani? With lots of seafood, and seafood I leave it to you. What I'm going to use now is nothing that you have to use. Seafood, whatever that you get where you live, please use assorted seafood and this biryani will come out delicious. Believe me, just try this recipe. But before that, let's quickly run through the ingredients and let's make seafood biryani. To make seafood biryani, we need assorted seafood like prawns, fish and clam, soaked basmati rice, sliced onions, brown onions, yogurt, whole spices. So here I am using black pepper, green cardamom, mace, cinnamon, black cardamom and star anise, turmeric powder, red chilli powder, saffron soaked in water, pure ghee, salt, ginger garlic paste, fresh coriander and mint. So to begin with, I have this pan in which there is water boiling. Now in this I will add in some salt, because for a biryani you first need to cook the rice till it is half done. And along with that we will add in some whole spices to this. 1 black cardamom, some peppercorns, star anise, green cardamom, cinnamon, mace. So all these spices, once you add it to the water, is going to be very flavorful. So the rice is the most flavorful ingredient or the component in a biryani. So while the spices are getting infused here, we will also add in a tablespoon of ghee and we let this boil. Now what I want to show you here is that I have a bowl in which I have clams. So these clams are currently closed. So either you put them in a pan of boiling water, like for example, just to show you, I am just taking some hot water from this. So the minute you put clams in a pot of boiling water, they open up. But I do not want them to open up completely because I want them raw. So I am opening this up and there is this meat. Now gather all of the meat on one shell like this, remove the other shell. Now while you remove this, there is a part like this, you see this? You have to remove this as well. This thing needs to go and then you keep this in another bowl. Now what we do is, we will just take this soaked rice and we will put it in. Okay, cover it up and we will let the rice cook till it is half done. Half done, which means it's slightly undercooked, because we let the rice cook once we add in all the seafood together. Now in a mixing bowl, let's take all the seafood. Here I have prawns, fish. Now as compared to the other meats like chicken or lamb, seafood takes least time to cook. So we should always add it at a stage when the biryani is almost getting done, or we add it raw. So how do we do it? You need to observe. And we'll also add in the clams here. Now to this we'll add in some ginger garlic paste, salt, turmeric, red chilli powder, and what I have here is a biryani masala. And to bring this all together, we'll add in a little bit of yogurt. So mix this up well. So you want to have a look at the rice. It's getting done, but we'll still cover and let it cook for a while. Now in this, we need to add a little bit of fresh mint and some coriander leaves. Just chop this up roughly. Take it and add it to this. So while the rice is getting cooked, what I'll do is I'll put this onto another burner and we'll start cooking the biryani here. To start off with, we'll need some ghee in this pan. ghee followed by some oil as well. Now we've added a lot of whole spices in the rice, so in this we'll just add in the onions. And you need to saute these till they go nice and brown. Now while these onions are browning, let me tell you something. The onions that I have here, which is also known as birista, crispy fried or caramelized onions, these are widely used in biryani and a lot of other Indian preparations. Firstly, it gives a lovely aroma and flavor to the dish that you make, and in biryani it becomes an essential ingredient. Most of the biryanis are garnished with this, but how do you actually make this? Most of us surely know how to make it, but for some of us who do not know how to make brown onions, it's very simple. You have to slice onions just like this, and in the deep kadhai with oil, you have to deep fry them and keep on stirring it. So after a while, you will see that it has gone light brown in color. When it is light brown in color, remove it from the oil and just arrange it on a kitchen towel. So while it has retained all the heat, it will go even darker in color, and this is how you will have lovely crispy brown onions. Now this has a good amount of shelf life provided the oil in which you have fried it is fresh. So if you fry it in fresh oil, it stays well for at least a week. So you can actually make like about 10 kilos of onions, deep fry it in a big kadhai and keep it and use it in all your Indian sabzis and preparations. You can, like after you've made your dal, just put a little bit of brown onion on top. You will actually see the difference in taste. Okay, coming back to this onion, it has started browning, but we don't need to brown this as much as this because we already have a bowl full of brown onions which I am going to add to the biryani. Okay, while the onion is still getting browned, we need to strain the rice. The rice is done. Now if you remember, when we had marinated the seafood, we had added everything into this. All that is now left is we have to put this entire thing into this pan and cover it with rice. If you remember, I had also said that seafood doesn't take too long to cook, which is why I first cook the rice, so that now all I have to do is just pile it up and put it on dum. Dum is where it actually cooks when I seal it up nicely. So we lower the heat. I want to add a little bit of brown onions to this as well. And now we'll add this entire mixture into this pan. So here goes the seafood. I'm not going to mix it much. Now on top of this, we'll put the rice. Very carefully arrange it. Now on this, let's sprinkle the saffron, followed by some salt. In case if the salt is less, it can be adjusted here. Lots of brown onions here, a little bit of biryani masala which we had added in the marination, so a little bit on the rice, some coriander, so after adding the biryani masala, let's take some ghee and pour it on the side like this, and also we'll have to just sprinkle some water. This is for the steam to get generated. Cover this. I have a tawa here on which I am going to place this like this, so that the biryani doesn't get burnt from the bottom and there's enough heat for this entire thing to cook. Remember, seafood doesn't take time to cook, the rice is half done, so this entire thing will not take more than 15 minutes. Now you can increase the heat to medium high. Once it is done, do not open the pan immediately. Let all the steam settle down for another 10 minutes and then open the pan, loosen up the rice from the sides and serve this right away. In case if you're making this for dinner, you can start cooking by afternoon and by evening you would be done. If you have to reheat this, you can just place it similarly on a tawa on slow heat and it will be done perfectly. So don't waste much time, follow this recipe and you'll be extremely happy. I am sure you all love our recipes, so to stay connected, Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana.